Before sunrise on a Friday in October, the most powerful men in France moved in silence. Across the kingdom, sealed orders were broken open. At the same hour, a single coordinated strike, centuries before anyone had a word for one. Their target, an order of warrior monks who had guarded Christendom for 200 years. Men sworn to poverty who had somehow become the bankers of kings. By morning, thousands would be in chains. Within 7 years, their Grand Master would burn. This is the story of the Knights Templar, and how the gold that made them untouchable is exactly what got them destroyed. It began with a road. In 1099, the armies of the First Crusade took Jerusalem, and Christian pilgrims poured toward the Holy City. But the roads were not safe. Pilgrims were robbed and slaughtered by the hundreds. Around 1119, a French knight named Hugh de Payens and a small band, by tradition just 9 men, vowed to protect them. The King of Jerusalem gave them quarters on the Temple Mount, on the ruins of Solomon's Temple. From it, they took their name. They were a contradiction made flesh. Monks who took vows of poverty and chastity and killed for God. A powerful abbot, Bernard of Clairvaux, gave them his blessing and a rule to live by. Donations flooded in. Land, gold, castles. Then, in 1139, the Pope set them above the world. One decree made the Templars answerable to no king, no bishop, only to the Pope himself. They paid no taxes. They crossed every border freely. An army that obeyed no crown, funded by all of Christendom. The poor knights would never be poor again. Their genius wasn't the sword. It was an idea. A pilgrim could deposit his money at the temple in Paris or London and carry only a letter. 1,000 miles away, at another temple, he could withdraw it. No gold to steal on the road. It was, in all but name, an international bank, built 500 years early. Their fortresses spread across Europe, thousands of them. They guarded treasuries. They financed wars. They lent to bishops, to merchants, to kings. Crowns came to them for money, and one crown came more than any other. Philip IV of France was a king with an empty treasury and expensive wars, and he owed the Templars a fortune. He looked at the order on his own soil, an army he didn't command, a bank he couldn't audit, answering to a pope he had already learned to control. To a king drowning in debt, the Templars' wealth wasn't a threat. It was an answer. On Friday, the 13th of October, 1307, his plan struck. In a single day, some 15,000 Templars, knights, chaplains, and servants alike were seized across France. The charges were monstrous: that they spat on the cross, denied Christ, worshipped idols in secret. Under torture, the confessions came. Almost all of them. Most would later take the words back, but the machinery was already moving. The Pope, Clement V, knew. In secret, at Chinon, he absolved the Templars of heresy, a document that lay hidden in the Vatican's archives for 700 years. And then he dissolved the order anyway. Not as a verdict of guilt, he said, only to end the scandal. The wealth was scattered, the order erased. On the 18th of March, 1314, the last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was led to a scaffold on an island in the Seine. With the flames at his feet, he took back every confession. He swore the order was innocent, and legend says he called his betrayers, the Pope and the King, to answer before God within the year. Whatever you believe about a curse, this part is history. Pope Clement was dead within the month. King Philip was dead before the year was out, and within a generation, all 3 of his sons were gone, leaving no heir. royal line that destroyed the Templars destroyed itself. The order was never proven guilty of anything but being too rich, too independent, and too useful to a desperate king. They conquered for God and banked for kings. And the gold that made them immortal is the same gold that turned them to ash. I'm telling these stories of empires built and burned on this channel. If that's your kind of history, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.